Welcome to the channel, where today we plunge headfirst into one of the most electrifying, pulse-pounding mysteries of American coinage history, a story so saturated with suspense, so soaked in intrigue, and so steeped in numismatic myth that it will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about pocket change, because what if a small, seemingly insignificant mistake made the 2000 P. Jefferson nickel the most valuable coin ever struck, a modern-day treasure hiding in plain sight? Passed from hand to hand across gas stations, supermarkets, and vending machines without anyone realizing that what they held was not just a 5-cent piece but a potential fortune wrapped in copper and nickel, a slip of the mint that became the stuff of legend, an enigma that has drawn in experts, collectors, and conspiracy theorists alike as whispers of an extraordinary minting anomaly at the Philadelphia Mint in the year 2000 began to swirl through the numismatic community like wildfire, igniting curiosity and obsession on a scale rarely seen, as rumors emerged of a batch of Jefferson nickels bearing bizarre and unexplainable features, off-center strikes, ghostly double dies, missing edge detail, wild planchet flaws, and even signs of foreign material embedded in the metal, some so subtle that only the trained eye could detect them, yet others glaring enough to stop collectors dead in their tracks, leaving them breathless at the sheer possibility that the U.S. Mint had, through an incredible act of either negligence or fate, released into circulation a coin so rare, so bizarre, and so inexplicable that its value has skyrocketed to the realm of 6, even 7 figures, and the deeper you dig, the stranger the story becomes, with archived mint records from the year 2000 mysteriously incomplete, conflicting employee testimonies from inside the Philadelphia Mint, and rumors of a quietly recalled batch of nickels that were never supposed to leave the facility at all, but somehow slipped past inspection and escaped into the wild, sparking a frenzy among treasure hunters and coin dealers alike who began scouring rolls of nickels by the tens of thousands, convinced that somewhere, buried within the endless ocean of ordinary, lay the holy grail of modern coin errors, a 2000 P. Jefferson nickel that defied all expectations, shattered all norms, and rewrote the rules of collectability, with theories emerging that perhaps a transitional planchet was used by accident, struck with immense pressure that altered the metal composition, or that a rare die variety was mistakenly employed during a brief and undocumented shift change, resulting in a coin that, on the surface, looks standard, but upon closer inspection reveals clues pointing to an event so rare it may have occurred only once in minting history, a confluence of flawed equipment, human error, and systemic oversight that birthed a numismatic phantom, a whisper in the darkness of U.S. Mint operations that experts still argue about to this day, as renowned graders and collectors like Q. David Bowers and Ken Potter have weighed in with jaw-dropping assessments, some going so far as to say that this coin, if verified and authenticated under the right conditions, could eclipse the value of even the famed 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper penny, and suddenly the story turns to the hunt, the endless search that has consumed lives, wrecked bank accounts, and sparked wild journeys across the country. From estate sales in Florida to pawn shops in Ohio, where desperate collectors show up with magnifying glasses and metal detectors, driven by a passion bordering on madness, hoping to find that one 2000 P nickel that stands out from the rest, like the story of a young numismatist in Nevada who stumbled upon a nickel with an oddly reeded edge, something never seen on a Jefferson nickel, only to have it vanish during shipment to a grading company, never to be seen again. Or the tale of a retired mint worker who on his deathbed confessed to his grandson that he had pocketed one of the error coins and sealed it in a safety deposit box, but the key was lost, leaving the coin trapped in a steel tomb of unfulfilled potential. And then there's the shadowy online marketplace where whispers of unauthorized prototypes and experimental strikes have sold for astronomical sums in private, hush-hush deals between elite collectors who never reveal their sources, adding yet another layer of mystery and deepening the question: how many of these anomalous nickels are truly out there, and how many have already been spent, tossed into fountains, or melted down without ever revealing their secret? And what does the government know? What are they hiding? Because internal memos suggest that the Mint initiated a quiet investigation into the 2000 P. Jefferson nickels shortly after their release, perhaps alarmed by the mounting buzz in the collector community. And yet no official statement has ever been issued, no errors confirmed or denied, which only adds fuel to the fire of speculation, leading to a kind of numismatic paranoia where every slightly off-center strike is viewed with suspicion, every coin roll opened with trembling hands, and with each passing year the legend grows, the prices soar, and the hope intensifies, as collectors ask themselves the same haunting question: could I be holding $1 million mistake and not even know it? Could the key to unlocking one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in U.S. minting history be sitting in my coin jar or forgotten in my glove compartment, waiting to be discovered, authenticated, and catapulted into the pantheon of legendary American coins, alongside the 1804 silver dollar and the double eagle of 1933, because unlike those coins, which were born of deliberate decisions or clear historical events, the 2000 P. Jefferson nickel's mystique lies in its ambiguity. Its refusal to be easily categorized, its origin story fractured across rumors, collector boards, and whispered conversations at coin shows, and that ambiguity has made it irresistible to those who live for the chase, for the thrill of turning over a piece of pocket change and finding not just a rare coin, but a story, a symbol of chance, of chaos within a system designed for precision, a beautiful accident that calls into question the very reliability of modern coin production. And as we delve further into this saga, examining die varieties, clipped planchets, doubling anomalies, metal composition irregularities, and the ghostly presence of what some believe to be a phantom mint mark lurking beneath the surface of certain 2000 P nickels, we begin to understand that this isn't just about a coin, this is about legacy, about the fine line between routine and revolution, between a mundane object and a priceless artifact, and in that tiny 5-cent piece, smaller than a quarter and often overlooked, lies a microcosm of American ambition, oversight, secrecy, and luck, a perfect storm of historical significance wrapped in the guise of ordinary currency. So if you've ever doubted the magic of numismatics or questioned whether modern coins can still surprise us, let this story shatter those doubts and remind you that even in the year 2000, in an era of machines and mass production, a moment of imperfection could still spark a legacy, a quiet slip could still echo across decades, and a single coin, just one flawed Jefferson nickel, could still hold the power to astonish the world. So check your pockets, examine your change, and never underestimate the possibility that you, yes you, could be the one to uncover the rarest, most valuable, and most mysterious coin ever minted. And if this tale has stirred your curiosity, ignited your imagination, or driven you to look twice at every nickel you find, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Because we've only scratched the surface of the hidden histories waiting to be uncovered, and your next great discovery might be just a handful of change away. Next 2013_D Jefferson nickels, where today we unravel a coin mystery so staggering, so utterly laced with secrecy, chance, and unbelievable fortune that it may change the way you view pocket change forever. Because what if a tiny oversight, a nearly invisible minting anomaly on a coin you've likely overlooked your entire life, turned out to be the single most valuable error in the history of American currency, a mistake that transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary, and thrust a 2013_D Jefferson nickel into the pantheon of legendary rarities, with some experts quietly whispering that its worth may not just be thousands or tens of thousands, but potentially into the millions, due to a set of circumstances so rare and confounding that it defies conventional numismatic logic and borders on the conspiratorial. So lean in and imagine this: Denver Mint, 2013. A time of technological precision, routine minting procedures, standard coin production, except something went wrong. Horribly or miraculously wrong, depending on who you ask, because buried somewhere in the flood of nickel-clad coins rolling out that year were a handful, possibly just one, bearing a flaw so subtle yet so historically potent that even seasoned coin graders couldn't agree on how to classify it at first. And this wasn't your typical off-center strike or a die crack. No, this was a whisper of an error, a ghost in the machinery, possibly the result of a double denomination strike, or perhaps a foreign planchet intrusion, or even a briefly misaligned press that left a coin with a surface detail echoing the reverse of a dime or quarter, though others argue what we're looking at might be something far more esoteric, a planchet prepared improperly with metallurgical inconsistencies, or perhaps struck using retired dies that were meant to be destroyed, or worse, dies that were meant for internal tests only, never to be released, and yet somehow one slipped through. Or was it intentional? A rogue employee, a whistleblower leaving a message, or just fate handing collectors a mystery wrapped in nickel and copper? And when the first whispers hit the forums, no one believed it, thinking it just another rumor in the endless swirl of coin hoaxes, until photos began to surface, grainy at first, but unmistakable, Jefferson's profile looking ever so slightly warped. Monticello on the reverse showing an unnatural doubling under a loop, and then the weight, not matching a standard nickel. Not matching anything, almost as if it were a hybrid, a transitional planchet that shouldn't exist in 2013, and then the legends began, stories of a collector at a Denver flea market picking up a handful of 2013 D nickels for face value and later realizing one shimmered differently under fluorescent light, its luster anomalous, its edge oddly beveled. And upon closer inspection the coin refused to match any known variant, setting off a chain reaction of obsession, confusion, and relentless pursuit among numismatists, with grading services cautiously labeling it unclassified anomalous strike, while others, emboldened by the mystery, dubbed it the phantom nickel, and when it was finally auctioned, quietly, discreetly, to avoid chaos, it shattered private sales records, with the buyer remaining anonymous and the seller refusing to disclose the circumstances under which they acquired it, fueling further speculation that this was no accident but perhaps a test strike released by mistake, or even a coin meant for a foreign government, mistruck and slipped into American circulation like a whisper in the wind, and what makes this tale even more tantalizing is the silence from the mint itself, offering vague denials when pressed, stating there were no known errors of that kind, yet leaked internal memos suggest an audit of the 2013 Denver operations was conducted in 2014, and that several employees were quietly reassigned, their names redacted in official reports, which leads to the unavoidable question, what exactly did they find, and what were they trying to hide, and how many of these nickels, if any, are still out there, buried in old coffee cans, in bank rolls, in dusty drawers of forgotten change jars across the nation, waiting for someone to look a little closer and realize that what they hold is not just 5 cents of alloy, but a once-in-a-generation treasure, a coin born of accident or design, whose very existence challenges our understanding of modern minting and stretches the boundaries between error and art, history and mystery, and the mundane and the miraculous, and with collectors now combing every 2013 D Jefferson nickel they can find, looking for microanomalies, off-metal strikes, inverted edge lettering, phantom doubling, and even phantom clash marks that suggest dies may have struck each other before the planchet was introduced. There is now a rising underground market of shadowy buyers offering increasingly absurd sums for raw ungraded examples, hoping to be the next person to uncover a variation or relative of the original phantom nickel, and still, theories run wild. Some believe this was a planned release by a mint official to test detection capabilities, others think it was smuggled out by an insider who wanted to immortalize themselves in numismatic lore, and a few, the most daring theorists, claim this nickel isn't just an error, but a cipher, possibly containing microtext or engravings visible only under electron microscopes, a secret message coded into its flaws that points to a larger cover-up or hidden truth about the mint's operations during that turbulent fiscal year, and now the story has reached the edges of legend, with coin conventions dedicating entire panels to the mystery, YouTube channels documenting every rumor, and coin hunters losing sleep as they scour every pocket and drawer in hopes of finding their own brush with history, because in a world where machines are supposed to be flawless, the 2013 D Jefferson nickel stands as a reminder that even the most precise systems can falter in spectacularly valuable ways, and in that sliver of error lies the potential for life-changing discovery. So as we dig deeper into the records, the private testimonies, the auction results, the unexplained provenance and the contradictory timelines, we find ourselves less certain of facts but more enthralled by the narrative, where every shadow hides a clue, every anomaly breeds a theory. And every viewer watching this right now might be one lucky glance away from holding the next $1 million nickel in their hand, so stay curious, stay vigilant, and if you've made it this far down the rabbit hole of American minting's most elusive enigma, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next mystery might already be in your change jar. Next 1976, D. Jefferson nickels where the tiniest oversight can transform into the greatest treasure in American numismatic history, and today, we unlock the mysterious tale of the 1976 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin so seemingly ordinary, yet cloaked in layers of secrets, mistakes, and multimillion-dollar intrigue that beg the question, what if a small mistake made it the most valuable coin ever struck? At first glance, it was just another coin among millions minted during America's bicentennial year, a time when national pride soared, the U.S. Mint worked overtime, and millions of Americans handled nickels without a second thought, yet hidden within those ordinary coins, in the Denver Mint's roaring machinery, something inexplicable occurred, something so rare, so imperceptible to most eyes, that it slipped through unnoticed. Until decades later, when whispers among collectors turned into a frenzy, when one solitary 1976 Jefferson nickel, slightly off, subtly wrong, surfaced at a private auction and sold for a staggering sum no one could justify without diving into a deeper, more sinister, more thrilling story of a coin that defied every rule of mintage, condition, and categorization, as experts scrambled to explain a die alignment so off-center it appeared intentional. A reverse struck in partial blockage suggesting the coin had somehow passed through multiple stages of minting. Chaos yet emerged whole, unique, and undetected, leading to theories ranging from simple mint error to wild conspiracies involving insider mint sabotage, secret test dies, or even clandestine Cold War-era coinage experiments, all of which only grew in plausibility once additional coins began surfacing, each slightly different, each riddled with anomalies no two experts could agree upon. And yet every one of them traced back to the Denver Mint in 1976, a year when records went mysteriously missing, when shift changes were unusually undocumented, when blank planchets imported from an outsourced facility were rumored to be misalloyed or improperly stored, opening the door to questions about whether the coin's metallic content itself held clues to its value, with some metallurgists suggesting traces of silver, others finding excess nickel, and one team even alleging radiation levels consistent with experimental metal testing, which would explain why these coins have been found in obscure regions, discovered decades later in locked boxes, estate sales, or hidden behind false walls in old mint employee homes, fueling the legend of a covert operation inside the mint itself to test a harder, longer-lasting nickel composition that was later abandoned. Yet a few coins escaped into circulation, never to be recalled, and now they are hunted like lost relics of a forgotten experiment, drawing in obsessive collectors, forensic coin graders, and even government agents who have been known to question buyers and sellers of such coins under the guise of preserving national monetary integrity, although some claim it's to keep the truth buried about how many of these errors exist and why, adding another layer of paranoia to every trade, every auction, every online listing that even remotely resembles a 1976 anomaly, which explains the dozens of fake coins that have flooded the market, forcing major grading services to re-evaluate their authentication criteria and leading to lawsuits, threats, and career-ending accusations within numismatic circles, where jealousy and obsession brew beneath polite smiles, and where the phrase, 1976 Jefferson nickel, is spoken with the kind of reverence and fear usually reserved for ancient artifacts or cursed treasure, because to some, this coin represents not just a rare error, but a portal into the unknown. An artifact that challenges our understanding of how coins are made, how value is assigned, and how the past can resurface to haunt the present, especially when stories emerge of collectors who went bankrupt chasing one, or dealers who mysteriously vanished after claiming to possess a perfect specimen, or the elderly widow who found one in her late husband's fishing tackle box and was later offered $3.2 million for it in an anonymous overseas transaction she declined, claiming the coin gave her chills, and that she would rather burn it than sell it to the man in the black car who showed up without calling. Stories that blur the line between myth and reality, but in the world of rare coins, especially one as enigmatic as the 1976 Jefferson nickel, myth has a way of becoming reality, and reality bends to obsession, as collectors document every known example, creating hidden databases, sharing photos in encrypted groups, arguing over the weight, the luster, the microscopic die cracks that might identify a particular batch, and even flying across continents just to hold one in their hand, hoping for that electric thrill that comes from realizing they might be touching the rarest coin ever struck, a coin whose true mintage remains unknown, whose origin is still debated, and whose value continues to climb as its mystique deepens, a coin that started as a simple nickel but has become the center of a swirling storm of speculation, emotion, rivalry, and unrelenting pursuit, all because someone, somewhere, in the Denver Mint on a day no one remembers, made a mistake, or perhaps a deliberate decision that changed numismatic history forever, and as the years pass, the stakes only grow higher, with each new discovery raising fresh questions. Could there be more out there? Could one be hiding in a junk drawer, a pocket change jar, a dusty old coin album passed down through generations without anyone realizing the fortune it holds. And what happens if a definitive specimen, with every known anomaly in one coin, emerges? Will it sell for tens of millions, or will it be confiscated, silenced, buried beneath layers of bureaucracy and secrecy, just like so many pieces of this puzzle seem to be? This is the coin that defies classification, the story that resists closure, the mystery that pulls deeper with every clue, every testimony, every half-whispered tale of a coin that should not exist yet does. And so as you hold your own pocket change a little tighter tonight, remember, the next great treasure might already be in your hand, and if it bears the 1976 D mark of Jefferson's profile and an error too perfect to be accidental, you may be staring not just at history, but at a once-in-a-lifetime discovery whose secrets have eluded even the sharpest minds for nearly half a century. So like, share, and subscribe, because the journey into the mystery of the 1976 D Jefferson nickel has only just begun, and who knows what we'll uncover next. Next 1985, P. Jefferson, where what you're about to hear might just challenge everything you thought you knew about pocket change, because what if a small, nearly invisible minting mistake turned an ordinary coin into the most valuable piece of metal ever struck by the United States Mint? What if hidden in a forgotten roll, buried beneath decades of lint in a drawer, or overlooked in a garage sale coin jar, there lies a 1985 P. Jefferson nickel, seemingly unremarkable, but in reality, an elusive treasure whose origin is tied to mistakes, secrets, and mysteries so profound they've shaken the numismatic community to its core. As we plunge into the riveting world of this specific coin, we must first understand that 1985 wasn't just another year, it was a transitional time at the Philadelphia Mint, where worn dies, uncalibrated presses, and overstretched production schedules led to a storm of potential errors, but none so fabled or debated as the legendary misstruck 1985 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare that some experts argue it should not even exist in its most valuable form, yet it does, and its discovery has created a storm of obsession, secrecy, and bidding wars in the highest echelons of the collecting world, where whispers of a double denomination strike, ghostly die clashes, and ultra-high-relief anomalies have turned casual collectors into relentless investigators, all trying to find out what truly happened during that strange, pressure-cooked minting cycle. Was there a rogue employee experimenting with rejected dies? A calibration test gone rogue? Or perhaps a quietly buried government slip-up that unleashed a handful of spectacularly flawed yet mesmerizing coins into circulation under the radar of even the most meticulous quality control systems? One of the most spine-tingling theories suggests that the rarest version of the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel was born from a transitional planchet meant for a different denomination entirely, a blank intended for a foreign coinage contract that accidentally entered the Jefferson nickel production line and created a hybrid that shouldn't exist, a Frankenstein coin with metallurgical fingerprints unlike anything documented in official mint records, which, coincidentally or not, have missing pages from that fiscal quarter, raising eyebrows, questions, and conspiracy theories that tie this coin to missing shipments, black budget allocations, and even internal whistleblower reports long buried under bureaucratic red tape. And while that may sound like fiction, consider this, a verified example with full steps on Monticello, a faint double die on Jefferson's profile, and a strikingly off-center reverse recently surfaced in a private estate sale in Ohio, only to be quietly sold in a shadowy bidding war between two anonymous collectors for an amount exceeding six figures, with one insider claiming the buyer had ties to a major mint employee's family, fueling speculation that someone out there knows exactly how and why these error coins came to be, but they're not talking, perhaps bound by NDAs, or worse, silenced by fear of professional ruin or legal repercussions. Now imagine being the average American walking past such a coin daily, unaware of the multi-layered mystery it holds, a coin that, if authenticated under the right conditions, could fetch life-altering money, and yet, its true value isn't just monetary, it's historical, symbolic, and emotional, representing a perfect storm of chaos, secrecy, craftsmanship, and luck, all encapsulated in a 5-cent piece that never should have left the mint with such irregularities. And let's not forget the story of the Arizona man who discovered a bizarrely heavy 1985 P nickel in his grandfather's belongings only to realize it bore what appeared to be overlapping details from a foreign coin reverse under microscopic analysis, suggesting a planchet mix-up that contradicts official mint procedures and has led metallurgists to theorize about clandestine production lines or foreign contracts gone awry, raising the tantalizing question: how many of these hybrid oddities were created, how many were caught, and how many are still out there, waiting to be found? And what of the numismatic sleuths who have dedicated their lives to this mystery, traveling cross-country to interview retired mint workers, comb through dumpsters of decommissioned equipment, or analyze grainy photographs from 1980s pressrooms looking for the tiniest clue to unlock the truth behind the coin's origin? People like the obsessive hobbyist from North Carolina who built a scale model of the 1985 Philadelphia Mint floor plan to hypothesize how a rare die pairing could have accidentally been loaded into a press, and who later received anonymous threats after publishing a blog post claiming to possess a variant with mismatched reading on the edge, a feature no nickel should ever have, prompting fear that the coin may represent more than an error. It may be evidence of mint experimentation that was never approved or documented. And that opens the door to further questions about what else the US Mint may have produced and suppressed. Imagine the drama unfolding when a worn-out cashier at a flea market unknowingly hands out a 1985 P. Jefferson nickel with microscopic doubling on the date and a split serif on the P mint mark to a young collector who, weeks later, stuns the numismatic world by posting high-resolution images revealing a bizarre texture on Jefferson's jacket that turns out to be a rare instance of die polishing gone horribly wrong, creating an eerie effect that makes the president look like he's fading into smoke, an anomaly so visually arresting it defies explanation and sets off a wave of searches across the country for similarly ghosted coins, sparking online forums, late-night live streams, and nationwide nickel hunts with people hoping to discover just one of these modern-day treasures, each believing, with mounting hope and trembling hands, that they might be holding the next $1 million mistake. And as we explore the layers of stories attached to this enigmatic coin, from the elderly woman in Florida who found one wedged inside an old family Bible to the Chicago teen who allegedly discovered a proof-like 1985 P in a bankroll with inverted lettering along the rim, a possible collar clash so rare that even the ANA had no comment, we must ask, how many of these coins slipped through, how many were purposefully hidden, and could it be that some were planted as tests, traps, or time bombs of monetary curiosity waiting to detonate decades later? Could it be that the value of the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel lies not just in its composition, but in its story, one of mystery, of anomaly, of accident or intent, of rules broken and boundaries blurred, where every detail on its face, from Jefferson's gaze to the curvature of Monticello's dome, may contain subtle hints, coded signatures, or historical fingerprints that link back to a deeper truth about the operations of our minting institutions, and the possibilities that lay just beyond the veil of documented history? With every twist and turn, we're reminded that this isn't just about a coin, it's about the hunt, the passion, the endless pursuit of the unexplained, and the thrill of realizing that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a nickel could hold within it the power to change lives, challenge authority, and rewrite everything we know about US coinage, because if one small minting mistake could create a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or perhaps even millions, then how many more are still out there, waiting in plain sight for someone bold enough, curious enough, and obsessed enough to uncover their secrets? Thank you for diving into this extraordinary journey with us. If you enjoyed exploring the mystery behind the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel and want more jaw-dropping stories about coins you never knew could be so powerful, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue unraveling the hidden history of American currency one shocking discovery at a time. 1982 D. Jefferson nickels, where today we dive headfirst into one of the most riveting and enigmatic tales in American numismatics, the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin whose very existence teeters between myth and reality, and whose legend is stitched with whispers of colossal mistakes, secret government mishaps, and discoveries that have sent shockwaves through the collector world, igniting obsession and heated debates that refuse to die down. Imagine for a moment a single misstep at the United States Mint, a tiny lapse in quality control, that transformed an everyday nickel into a clandestine treasure more valuable than gold, a coin so rare that just the hint of its presence turns casual collectors into frantic hunters and seasoned experts into treasure-seeking detectives, probing every crevice of minting records, chasing rumors of lost batches buried in forgotten vaults or melted down in secret, all while the coin quietly slipped through the cracks of history, its story concealed. Beneath layers of bureaucratic silence and deliberate obfuscation, this 1982 D. Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, it is a mystery wrapped in the folds of time, carrying with it the weight of potential fortunes and the allure of a secret known only to a chosen few, the echoes of a minting anomaly so profound that it challenged everything we thought we knew about coin production and rarity. As we unravel the tale, consider how this particular nickel came to bear extraordinary errors, from doubled dies to misplaced mint marks, off-center strikes, and bizarre alloy blends, anomalies that weren't just accidental but possibly a symptom of a chaotic production environment during the early 1980s, a time when the mint was grappling with skyrocketing demand, resource shortages, and pressures to meet quotas that may have led to corners being cut or errors slipping through unnoticed. Errors that today translate to immense value, turning an otherwise common nickel into a coveted artifact. Of numismatic lore, dive deeper and the story grows darker and more intriguing. Whispers among collectors tell of secret runs, experimental coins never meant for circulation, test strikes accidentally mixed into general batches, and even rumors of government cover-ups designed to keep the coin's true rarity hidden, all fueling a frenzy where a single authentic 1982 D-era nickel can command staggering sums in auctions, while counterfeit versions muddy the waters, challenging experts to separate fact from fiction. The historical context is as fascinating as the coin itself, with the Jefferson nickel series marking a transitional period in U.S. currency design, reflecting both the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the technological shifts in coin production, and within that, the 1982 D nickel emerges as a rare gem, a physical testament to the unexpected chaos lurking beneath the mint's polished surface. Experts who have studied the coin extensively have shared jaw-dropping accounts of how microscopic flaws on dies created ghostly doubled images and strange surface textures that confound even the most seasoned numismatists, while collectors recount spine-tingling moments when an ordinary handful of nickels revealed that one elusive 1982 D with a dramatic error, sparking bidding wars that stretch into the tens of thousands of dollars. Numbers that defy logic for such a small piece of metal but are justified by the sheer rarity and the almost mystical provenance of these coins. Wild theories have emerged to explain these minting anomalies. Some speculate sabotage or insider tinkering, others believe a momentary lapse in quality control was exacerbated by new machinery, and a few even suggest clandestine experiments by the mint to produce limited edition coins that inadvertently entered circulation, blurring the line between error and intentional rarity. The mystery only thickens with tales of lost coins resurfacing decades later, tucked away in dusty collections or uncovered in unlikely places, each discovery a fresh wave of excitement that resets the collector market and reignites fierce debates about authenticity and value. The 1982 D. Jefferson nickel has transcended its humble origins, becoming a symbol of numismatic intrigue and an object of fervent desire that draws together historians, collectors, and conspiracy theorists alike, all united by the thrill of the chase and the tantalizing promise that somewhere, perhaps just beyond reach, lies a coin that could change a life forever. This single nickel embodies the perfect storm of historical significance, production mystery, and financial allure, a treasure cloaked in secrecy, demanding not just admiration but relentless investigation. And as we peel back the layers of this tale, you realize that the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel is far more than metal and mint marks. It is a portal into a world where history, chance, and human error collide to create legends, and where every coin could be the key to uncovering a secret buried for decades, inviting you to become part of an unfolding story where each moment of discovery is charged with the electric pulse of possibility, where fortunes can be made or lost with a single glance at a small, seemingly ordinary coin that hides a universe of mystery. And as we journey deeper, the stakes only rise, the tension thickens, and the questions multiply. What if that coin in your pocket is the one? What if the next great discovery lies just around the corner, waiting to rewrite numismatic history? And what truths have been buried by time, waiting for someone like you to unearth them and reveal the staggering, emotional, and mind-blowing saga of the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel? 1988 P. Jefferson nickels, where today we embark on a journey into one of the most mystifying and heart-pounding tales in American numismatics, the story of the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin that at first glance might seem ordinary but harbors a secret so extraordinary that it has ignited fevered speculation, jaw-dropping discoveries, and whispered legends among collectors worldwide. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that appears to be just another piece of everyday currency, yet within its metal composition, struck with unintentional imperfections, lies a phenomenon so rare and elusive that it challenges everything we thought we knew about minting processes and coin collecting. What if a subtle error, a tiny anomaly invisible to most, transformed this humble 1988p nickel into the most valuable coin ever struck, one that could turn an average person into a millionaire overnight? The intrigue begins with a series of inexplicable production glitches at the Philadelphia Mint, where the 1988p nickels were minted amid growing pressures and evolving technologies that, unbeknownst to the public, set the stage for one of the most baffling minting errors ever documented. Experts have long debated what exactly happened during those tumultuous production runs. Some suggest that a die crack so minute it escaped early detection created a rare variety, while others argue that the coin experienced a double strike that gave it a ghostly, otherworldly quality, an error so difficult to find that it might be hiding in circulation, waiting for the right eyes to spot it. The story deepens when we consider the reports from whistleblowers within the mint, who hinted at government oversight failures, lost or destroyed records, and mysterious cover-ups designed to keep these error coins off the market and out of collector hands, possibly to protect the coin's astronomical potential value. Collectors who managed to acquire one of these elusive nickels tell stories that read like something out of a thriller: fortunes made overnight, frantic auctions where bidding wars pushed prices into the hundreds of thousands, and the crushing heartbreak of near misses when a coin thought to be the fabled error turns out to be just a common variant. Yet the 1988p Jefferson nickel mystery does not rest solely on the mechanics of minting errors. It is woven tightly into the historical fabric of the late 1980s United States, a time marked by economic uncertainty, rising interest in coin collecting as a safe investment, and a numismatic community hungry for the next big discovery to define a generation. Theories abound. Some claim the error originated from a rare alloy mishap that caused the nickel's surface to subtly shimmer in sunlight, giving rise to its nickname, the ghost nickel, while others suggest a secret batch of nickels was minted as a covert experiment with new metal compositions, only to be quietly withdrawn and suppressed by mint officials when their unintended flaws became apparent. Every lead seems to spiral into new enigmas, like the reported existence of a hoard discovered in an abandoned Philadelphia warehouse in the early 2000s, containing hundreds of these nickels, only for the entire collection to vanish mysteriously before it could be authenticated, fueling conspiracy theories that government agents intervened to seize what might have been a numismatic goldmine. Within collector circles, heated debates rage about whether the 1988p Jefferson nickel's value is rooted more in its rarity or the mythology that has grown around it, with some specialists cautioning that the coin's mystique has outpaced verifiable facts, while others passionately argue that the genuine article remains among us, waiting for someone with the knowledge and luck to unlock its true potential. Adding to the legend, high-profile numismatic auctions have repeatedly featured suspected 1988p error nickels, sometimes commanding 5- and 6-figure bids from anonymous buyers, only for these sales to fall apart under scrutiny, creating a ghost story of missed opportunities and unfulfilled promises that keeps the entire community on edge. Then there are the tales of amateur collectors who stumbled across the coin in their pocket change, recognizing it only by a peculiar glint or faint marking that seemed to whisper secrets from the past, launching them into worlds of obsession, research, and sometimes despair, as they try to prove their find's authenticity against mounting skepticism. Expert opinions are divided. Some claim that the technological limitations of the mint at the time make such an error unlikely to be consistent enough to hold true value, while others cite forensic metallurgical analyses and microscopic dye studies that reveal subtle yet undeniable anomalies exclusive to a small subset of 1988p nickels, underscoring their uniqueness and potential worth. The coin's story also entwines with the shadowy realm of counterfeiters and forgers, who have attempted to replicate the error to capitalize on collector mania, muddying the waters and forcing a new generation of coin experts to develop advanced authentication techniques, adding yet another layer of complexity and danger to the hunt for the real thing. With each revelation comes more questions. How many genuine error nickels exist? What exact combination of minting flaws created this phenomenon? Why has the government remained silent or even obstructed research into these coins? And most hauntingly, what fortunes remain buried in circulation, lost in pockets, drawers, and forgotten collections, waiting for a chance to rewrite history? The emotional resonance of this quest is palpable, fueled by stories of families who kept the coin as a lucky charm for decades, unaware of its true value until a chance appraisal shattered their reality, of lifelong collectors whose obsession with the 1988 P nickel defined their identities and fortunes, and of the countless enthusiasts who see in this coin not just metal, but a symbol of mystery, hope, and the tantalizing allure of hidden treasure in the everyday. This narrative is not just about a coin, it is about human nature, our relentless desire to discover, to hold something rare and magical, and to connect with a story larger than ourselves, one that spans decades and encapsulates the very essence of mystery and discovery. As we peel back the layers of mint records, eyewitness accounts, scientific studies, and underground rumors, we find ourselves entangled in a labyrinth where truth and myth blur, where every answer breeds new puzzles, and where the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel stands as a testament to the power of an unassuming object to captivate imaginations and fuel dreams. This is a story that transcends numismatics and touches on universal themes of chance, secrecy, and the human urge to uncover what has been lost or hidden, with every scratched surface and every mint mark whispering a narrative of its own, daring us to listen closely and never give up the search. So, join me as we delve deeper into this enigmatic coin, unraveling decades of rumors, expert analyses, legendary discoveries, and the haunting mysteries that make the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel not just a piece of currency, but an icon of intrigue, a symbol of lost fortunes, and the Next 2002 D Jefferson nickels, where today we plunge headfirst into a numismatic enigma so profound it challenges everything collectors thought they knew about the 2002 D Jefferson nickel. What if a tiny, almost imperceptible flaw, hidden in plain sight, made this coin the most valuable and mysterious mint strike in American history? Imagine a scenario where a seemingly routine coin, minted by the Denver Mint in 2002, became the epicenter of a shadowy puzzle involving extraordinary minting errors so rare, so baffling, that they have spawned feverish collector hunts, whispered legends of government cover-ups, and stories of lost fortunes that could turn an average penny into a small fortune overnight. What if behind the gleaming visage of Thomas Jefferson, there lurked anomalies that defied the meticulous precision of the U.S. Mint's highest standards, off-center strikes so extreme they render parts of the design almost invisible, die cracks spreading like spider webs only visible under the sharpest magnification, double dies that twist the coin's imagery into an eerie reflection of itself, and metallic composition inconsistencies that suggest clandestine experimental batches or unrecorded production errors? The history of the Jefferson nickel itself, introduced in 1938 as a tribute to America's third president, already carries a legacy of artistic beauty and wartime alterations, but the 2002 Denver issue opens a new chapter filled with mystery. This was a period of intense transition at the Mint, a time when new technologies and pressures to increase production may have inadvertently birthed minting irregularities long dismissed as mere curiosities until collectors started noticing something unprecedented: coins that seemed almost otherworldly, with shifting shadows and mint marks displaced in ways that defied official explanations. Experts have speculated wildly, some suggesting a covert minting experiment that went awry, others whispering of an insider who smuggled out test strikes with secret flaws, each piece a tantalizing fragment of a hidden story. The numismatic community, normally bound by meticulous records and well-documented releases, found itself unraveling threads that led nowhere and everywhere at once: government documents redacted or lost, testimony from former mint workers reluctant or afraid to speak, and auctions where a single 2002 D Jefferson nickel with a peculiar die crack sold for tens of thousands of dollars to an anonymous bidder, sparking intense bidding wars and intense curiosity. Stories circulate of collectors who stumbled upon these errors in bulk rolls of nickels pulled from everyday change, instantly realizing their hands held something extraordinary, tales of sleepless nights spent cross-referencing mint reports, consulting metallurgists to explain unexpected alloy traces, and racing to get coins professionally graded before they vanished into private collections like shadows. One story tells of a Midwestern coin dealer who unearthed a stash of these rare mint-era nickels buried in an old safe deposit box, discovered only after the original owner passed away without revealing their existence, hinting at a forgotten obsession with these anomalies that few outside the inner circles knew about. And what of the theories that stretch beyond the mint's walls? Could a flaw in the planchet manufacturing process have introduced a rare metal impurity, creating a coin that subtly shifts color under different lighting, confounding even the most seasoned numismatists? Some argue that the 2002 Jefferson nickel errors may even be linked to geopolitical pressures of the early 2000s, when the mint was pressured to ramp up output amid rising demand, possibly causing corners to be cut or quality controls to fail in ways never fully disclosed to the public. Others believe that these coins are keys to a larger mystery involving a secret cache of misstruck coins from Denver's underground vaults, a vault that some claim was sealed off and forgotten for decades, leaving behind a trove of mint-era treasures waiting to be uncovered by the next lucky discoverer. The emotional pull here is undeniable. These nickels are more than just currency, they are relics of human error, triumph, and the relentless pursuit of perfection gone awry. Every scratch, every die crack, every double die on the 2002 Jefferson nickel tells a story of intense human drama behind the scenes of one of the world's most precise manufacturing processes, stories that only reveal themselves under intense scrutiny and an insatiable hunger for knowledge. Collectors have become obsessed, trading theories on obscure forums, analyzing microscopic photographs, and even commissioning X-ray fluorescence studies to uncover hidden elements within these coins' metal cores, as if each piece holds a secret message from the past waiting to be decoded. The tension builds as you realize that the value of these coins is not just monetary but historical and emotional, embodying the perfect storm of error and rarity, human oversight and mechanical precision, and the thin line separating ordinary currency from a once-in-a-lifetime collector's dream. Imagine the thrill of holding one of these nickels, knowing you possess something that defies explanation, something that could rewrite the rules of numismatics forever. What if your pocket change was hiding a treasure map in metal form, a mysterious artifact telling a story of government slip-ups, minting disasters, and accidental masterpieces? The 2002 Jefferson nickel is no longer just a coin, it is a symbol of the unknown, a riddle wrapped in copper and nickel, sparking wild theories ranging from mint sabotage to secret government testing of new alloys under classified programs. Some experts claim to have seen uncirculated specimens that glow faintly under ultraviolet light, hinting at the use of experimental coatings or treatments never publicly acknowledged. Meanwhile, collectors continue the hunt with fervor, knowing that the next discovery could be the one that finally breaks the case wide open or launches a new wave of speculation. The drama and mystery behind this coin weave a narrative so captivating it transcends the world of numismatics and enters the realm of true American folklore, where every coin carries a whisper of history and every collector becomes a detective chasing shadows of the past. So join us as we delve deeper into this captivating story, exploring every twist and turn, every expert opinion and unbelievable find, and uncovering the truth about how a simple nickel from 2002 minted in Denver could become one of the rarest, most valuable, and most sought-after coins in the world, a treasure hidden in plain sight, waiting for those brave enough to seek it out. Because what if the greatest numismatic secret is not locked in a vault, but in the very change you carry every day? Next 1998, P. Jefferson, where today we unravel one of the most baffling, electrifying, and jaw-dropping mysteries in the world of coin collecting, a mystery that asks the question, what if a tiny, almost invisible mistake during the minting process turned a seemingly ordinary 1998 P. Jefferson nickel into one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in history? Imagine the stakes rising as we dig into the story behind this enigmatic coin, a coin that appears at first glance to be just another piece of metal struck by the U.S. Mint, yet hides within it a secret so rare, so elusive, that numismatic experts, collectors, and historians alike have spent decades chasing down whispers of its existence. The 1998 P. Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia during a period of relative stability and routine production, holds within its unassuming surface a tale of unexpected errors that, to the untrained eye, seem like mere blemishes but to those in the know, represent a glimpse into a chaotic moment at the mint where human oversight, machine malfunction, and perhaps even intentional anomalies converge to create a legend. What if the story is not just about a single coin, but about a batch of nickels mysteriously disappearing from official records, lost in transit, or deliberately withheld, only to resurface years later in the hands of a few fortunate, and fiercely secretive, collectors? The whispers begin with the peculiarities of the 1998 PS design, where some specimens reveal subtle doubling of the date and mint mark, a phenomenon called a double die that instantly catapults their value into the stratosphere. But that is only the beginning, for experts have noted rare examples exhibiting off-center strikes so extreme that part of Thomas Jefferson's profile seems to vanish into the void, while the reverse side displays the Monticello building stretched and distorted in ways that defy standard minting tolerances. These anomalies raise haunting questions about quality control lapses at the Philadelphia Mint that year. Was there a malfunctioning die left unchecked, or perhaps a rushed production line under pressure to meet demand? As we peer deeper, a web of intrigue emerges from the shadows. Rumors of coins struck on incorrect planchets, some mixing nickel with trace amounts of copper from experimental batches never officially documented, fueling speculation that a covert government project or mint trial inadvertently produced a batch of ghost nickels whose value today transcends mere currency and enters the realm of legend. Collector communities buzz with stories of secret auctions where these rare 1998 errors changed hands for sums that could buy entire homes, with some tales even suggesting that certain coins vanished into private collections never to be seen again, fanning the flames of mystery and obsession. What if one of these rare coins was once part of a high-profile theft or lost in a vault during a fire, only to be rediscovered decades later, sparking frenzied bidding wars and reigniting debates about authenticity and provenance? Theories abound. Could a mint employee have intentionally altered dies as a prank or act of rebellion? Or perhaps a foreign spy sought to disrupt American currency confidence by seeding the market with flawed coins? Experts have pored over microscopic details, analyzing die cracks, metal composition, and strike pressure, each clue adding another layer to the enigma. Even the government's silence or vague responses to inquiries have only stoked the fires of speculation, leading to conspiracy theories that the mint knows more than it reveals and is quietly suppressing certain facts to avoid public alarm or protect national security interests. The numismatic obsession with the 1998 Jefferson nickel is more than just about money, it's about chasing a dream, about the thrill of holding in your hand a piece of history that defies explanation and challenges everything we thought we knew about minting perfection. Collector forums pulse with anticipation when a new find surfaces, each discovery a fresh chapter in the ongoing saga of this legendary coin, with stories of emotional triumph as long-lost relatives uncover dusty coin jars and realize their inherited nickel could be worth a small fortune, changing lives overnight. And yet, with every twist, the mystery deepens. Some experts argue that certain error coins may actually be post-mint alterations or counterfeits, igniting fierce debates that divide even the most respected voices in the field. Imagine the tension in those moments, when a coin is presented for grading and authentication, with stakes so high that reputations and fortunes hang in the balance, and the verdict can turn excitement into despair or send the collector community into euphoria. The 1998 Jefferson nickel stands as a testament to the unpredictable marriage of human error and machine precision, a reminder that even in an era of mass production, perfection is elusive and anomalies can become treasures beyond imagining. As we navigate the twists and turns of this coin story, from the gritty mint floors of Philadelphia, through the shadowy backrooms of auction houses, to the hands of collectors who have devoted years of their lives to tracking down these elusive specimens, we realize that what we are witnessing is not merely a coin but a symbol of mystery, passion, and the unrelenting quest for the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. So, buckle up, because the journey into the world of the 1998 Jefferson nickel will take you through thrilling highs, unexpected revelations, and questions that may never be fully answered, all the while inviting you to ponder, what if that small, seemingly insignificant mistake was the key to unlocking one of the greatest numismatic treasures ever known? This is a story that continues to unfold, with new clues emerging, new discoveries made, and new legends born, as collectors and experts push the boundaries of what is possible in the hunt for rare coins, proving time and again that in the world of numismatics, truth is often stranger, and far more exciting, than fiction. Stick around, because as we peel back each layer of this enigmatic coin's history, you'll find yourself drawn deeper into a thrilling narrative of chance, mystery, and the unquenchable human desire to uncover hidden value in the most unlikely places. Welcome to the world where a single nickel from 1998 isn't just currency, but a gateway into a breathtaking saga of error, obsession, and the timeless allure of a mystery yet to be solved. History, the 1993 Jefferson nickel, a coin that at first glance might seem ordinary but hides a secret so profound, so mind-boggling, that it has captured the imaginations of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters around the world, leaving them questioning everything they thought they knew about coin minting and rarity. Imagine for a moment the chaos in the U.S. Mint's Philadelphia facility back in 1993, where amidst the clatter of presses and the hum of machinery, a small but catastrophic error slipped through undetected, creating a minting anomaly that would transform a simple 5-cent coin into a legend. What if a subtle flaw, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, altered this coin's very essence, making it the most valuable coin ever struck, a relic of a government slip-up so colossal that it defied logic and expectation? The story begins in a tumultuous year for the U.S. Mint, a time when budget cuts, equipment malfunctions, and human errors converged to create what some call the phantom strike, coins that were either struck off-center, double-struck, or had mysterious metal variations unlike any other nickel in circulation. But the 1993 Jefferson nickel anomaly is different. It is shrouded in secrecy, with whispers among collectors about coins minted on the wrong planchets, rare die clashes, and misaligned mint marks so precise that they seem almost deliberate. Experts have debated endlessly over whether this was a one-in-a-million fluke or a sign of deeper production chaos, and as government archives remain sealed or heavily redacted, conspiracy theories have flourished. Was this an inside job to create a rare collector's item? Did a rogue mint worker smuggle out coins with intentional errors? Or was it simply an accident of fate, a mechanical failure that escaped the watchful eyes of quality control? The hunt for the 1993 Jefferson nickel's rarest variants has become a numismatic obsession, driving collectors to scour flea markets, coin shows, and forgotten coin jars, hoping to stumble upon a piece of this elusive puzzle, a coin that could be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in mint condition. There have been shocking discoveries over the years. One collector famously found a specimen with a mint mark stamped twice, once faintly over the other, giving it a ghostly appearance that defied replication. Another uncovered a nickel so off-center that only part of Jefferson's portrait was visible, yet the mint mark remained perfectly intact, a paradox that has baffled metallurgists and mint experts alike. Each find fuels the legend, turning the 1993 Jefferson nickel into a modern-day treasure, a symbol of human error and mechanical mystery intertwined with the romance of hidden fortunes. The historical context only adds layers to this enigma. 1993 was a year of transition and tension at the mint, with new technology being introduced amid staff cutbacks and rising demand for coins in the booming economy, a perfect storm for minting mistakes. Some speculate that the errors stem from the hurried testing of new dies and presses, leading to unexpected pressure variances and metal misfeeds that created these rare anomalies. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect is the sheer silence surrounding the true number of these coins produced. Official records are incomplete or mysteriously missing, leading to wild speculation about how many were melted down, how many escaped into the hands of the public, and how many remain hidden in private collections or buried in forgotten drawers. Collector forums and numismatic societies are rife with heated debates and wild theories, some claiming that a secret batch was produced for government insiders or high-profile collectors, while others argue that the mint may have intentionally suppressed information to prevent market chaos. This silence has bred myths and legends, with stories of lost shipments, confiscated coins, and even one rumor about a priceless 1993 nickel found decades later in a time capsule beneath an old Philadelphia building, reigniting the frenzy around this coin's true nature. As experts continue to study die patterns, metal compositions, and strike pressures using cutting-edge forensic technology, new revelations emerge, challenging long-held beliefs and raising the stakes even higher. One prominent numismatist described the coin's errors as a perfect storm of imperfection, a rare convergence of mistakes that paradoxically make this nickel a masterpiece of minting history, while another expert warned that forgeries have flooded the market, complicating the quest and threatening to dilute the value of authentic specimens. Collector stories add a deeply emotional dimension, tales of lifelong passion, financial ruin, and once-in-a-lifetime discoveries intertwine with the 1993 Jefferson nickel's narrative, as some who stumbled upon these coins found their lives transformed overnight, while others faced bitter disappointment after investing fortunes in fakes. The suspense is relentless. Every auction, every private sale, carries with it the possibility of unearthing a coin that redefines rarity and value, making this not just a hunt for currency but a pursuit of legend and mystery. What makes the 1993 Jefferson nickel truly extraordinary is not just its errors but the way it encapsulates human fallibility, the unpredictability of machines, and the allure of the unknown, a tangible piece of history that whispers secrets through its scratched surfaces and imperfect strikes. This coin embodies the delicate balance between chaos and order, between history and myth, and as you delve deeper into its story, you realize it is more than a coin. It is a symbol of obsession, a gateway to stories untold, a puzzle that challenges collectors to decipher its origins and unlock its secrets. The emotional weight is immense. Imagine holding a coin that may be the key to a fortune, that connects you to a moment of serendipity frozen in metal, that transforms a mundane object into a vessel of dreams and mysteries. The 1993 Jefferson nickel invites you to become part of this ongoing saga, to question everything, to seek, to find, and to wonder about the stories behind every coin that passes through our hands. What if you, the viewer, could be the one to discover the next legendary specimen? What if the hidden treasure you've been searching for is not a myth but a real, tangible artifact waiting to be unearthed in your own collection? The journey of the 1993 Jefferson nickel is a never-ending story, a tapestry woven with intrigue, history, and passion that continues to captivate and mystify with each passing year. So stay with us, because as we peel back the layers of this coin story, uncovering government secrets, expert insights, collector testimonies, and mysterious clues, you will be drawn deeper into a world where every small detail could mean the difference between fortune and oblivion. This is not just a coin, it is a legend in metal, a testament to human error and obsession, a story that defies time, waiting for the next chapter to be written, and it could be you who writes it.